I hate to make this site about myself so many a times. I really, really would love to just give you media insight, media analysis, because I've been around the block a few times. I've been in newsrooms, I've been all over the place. That doesn't make me an expert. I don't claim to be, but I had experience. I like to think of myself as a realist. And as I get older, I came to realize that a lot of these people, they don't have any appreciation of history. They don't have any appreciation of the medium. They take advantage. They take for granted. I'm not trying to be Mr. Holier than thou. I never have been. I get antsy and aggravated and angry when I get angry because I wish that a lot of you were as passionate about what I try to say as I am. Not being, again, holier than thou. I'm just giving you my gut and the best that I can give you. Every time I ask you to acknowledge moi and to help me keep this message out there and going, it's because I couldn't work in an environment that exists today. This media that we have today, especially here, is beyond average, beyond just mediocre. It's not even mediocre. And I'm not some disgruntled employee. I haven't applied for a job in years. I could not work under the environment that exists today. Some of it, not their fault. The few mortals that are left who are decent to what they do, or at least what they try to do. It repulses me. It angers me that I see what I see and hear what I hear. I know a lot of you are in the same boat. Maybe you don't care for the messenger, but you care for the message, kind of a thing. And I get all that. I try to give you realness and reality and straight talk, not the bull that they give you. A lot of these people hate me. They hate me for other reasons, but they use this as a crutch or as an excuse because they know I'm telling the truth. They know what I say and what I spew is 100%, if not more, accurate. And it bothers me and frustrates me till the end that I have to do this to convey to you every now and then, more often than I'd like, of what I'm trying to achieve, which is not really anything. I'm not some savior out there. I've often said I'm not curing cancer or diabetes or, I'm not some savior. Folks, I'm one voice. I've been there and done that. I've seen all the retrobates. I've seen all the people who try to discredit me, will do anything in their power to screw with me and prevent me from perhaps, God forbid, getting a few shekels so that I can continue to carry on whatever message that I have, which is the message I've only tried to say. And that is, they are fakers, posers. They can call me one, but at least I'm not saying shit out there with anonymous postings. I've often said this. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. My name is up there. I don't throw rocks and hit without publicly IDing myself. So when I'm out there struggling, and I'm going to go into detail, so those of you that want to watch and carry on, please do so. At least I'll make it interesting. When I'm out there leveling charges and saying what nobody else will say, I do it with my name. I'm not behind an anonymous keyboard doing a lot of crap that they do against me, in addition to others, but mainly me, and try to mess with me and mess with my want to be not so much paid, just to cover my expenses so that I can get the message out there to you guys and understand that they can't screw with you. They've tried many a times to screw with me, and I've tried to convey to you what they don't want you to know, and it goes everywhere. TV, newsrooms, radio, internet sites. You know why I get angry when I say they don't credit me? I get angry because they are so juvenile. They are so pedantic. They are so absolutely petty when it comes to that. It kills them to give credit to me. Why? Because I'm a vlogger who does the little work, but it counts a lot. The work that they don't do because they have their 20-year-old pimple face with the Gouda cheese and alfalfa sprout sandwiches. I sound like my father used to sound like, or my mom. Damn proud of it. I don't care. Yeah, the good old days. They were the good old days. You had people that worked. You had a real newspaper or two or three. You had real television news stations where people worked and editors edited and anchors anchored, and not the phonies and the crapola faces that we have today. And in that anger, I've tried to manifest that anger into something positive, in which to not educate you, that's BS, just to inform you of what they're up to. I hear Trump level that phrase all the time. I used to think he was a nutty. Fake news, fake news. He's right. He's right. A lot of these people, folks, they have agendas. They can't stand the truth. And it's the truth, not anybody's truth, the truth. They level shit and garbage, and they prevent people like myself. And I'm no savior. I'm just giving it to you from my standpoint. I understand what Trump means. He may overdo it at times, but the main message is clear. I understand. They have messed with me. They have leveled crap at me, and they've prevented me from, God forbid, make a living. I don't even care about that. I'm just trying to survive. I've said it a million times. And they've done things. They put little petty ads and newspaper articles and crap because I call them out. If they happen to be women, then they're women. If they happen to be men with mustaches, so be it. It is what it is, to borrow a cliche. I've given you what they don't want you to know. And I'm not the most perfect messenger at all. Far from it. And I've often said that. I don't look like whomever, Tom Selleck. I don't look, well, about 20 years ago, I don't look like George Clooney. I don't have little fancy bookcases behind me with elaborate books and nice little napkins and things that, and a fancy microphone. I am who I am. I've had people turn against me, so-called friends that I never knew as real friends. And they have agendas themselves. They come here or they come at me and screw with me and do little dirty crap behind my back. I know who they are. They claim to be friends. Look, folks, earlier today, and I've done this in the past, I asked you kindly to help me maintain this site. I used to write a long time ago. I wrote, I know a lot of you felt that it was easier to read me than it was to watch me. And my eyes are the craps right now. They are. My eyes aren't good. I don't have the greatest health coverage. For a variety of reasons, I'm not going to get deep into the weeds of why I can't have a conventional job. I chose this to help you. I say so, not patronizingly, but factually, to give you an idea of what these people were about. They're not all assholes. They're not all people with agendas. Some work hard, a lot of them behind the camera or away from the mic. They're credible. They work hard. They do their job. They don't have any petty agendas. They don't go after obscure bloggers every now and then. They understand where I'm coming from. I'm not going to please everybody. That's not my goal. I know I've pissed a lot of people off, including so-called friends that were never really friends to begin with. But you know what? I got these emails every now and then from people who said, "Can't stand you, but we read you or watch you. Never cared for you, but you make us think." And that pleases me. The people that agree with me, oh, well, it's easy to do that. I'm talking about the people who come here, and a lot of you do. I know it's not reflected on YouTube yet. It's reflected on my Google page. And again, for the life of me, side talk here, I don't know where those ads are coming from. And I apologize if they irritate you. I'm not getting paid a penny off those ads. I rely on you guys. You make me or break me, as I've often said, and it is 100% true. Well, why the hell do you just go away? You know what? I was thinking about that a few weeks back. Let me give you a little background. I got a couple of you folks wrote really nice emails and they said, "Stay on, we'll help you out, we'll figure it out." That kind of a thing. I'm paraphrasing. So I stayed on. I'm not anywhere near a thousandaire, a millionaire, a billionaire, anything like that. I get by on you guys. $25 is a lot of money to me. If I got $25 from everybody watching right now, I could be a one happy camper and not have to talk about things like this. But this is an important message. This goes beyond what I'm trying to convey to you. It's not all about the business. I have tried to tell you that I'm a one-man show. When I got sick, and I was pretty damn sick, nothing life or death, although it felt like it, about 3 months ago. I was sick for 2 months. I couldn't do any show. I was struggling. I was coughing. You saw me, and scratching my head and sneezing and trying to just survive. Now, I'm not saying, please, for the trolls, get into action, that I'm a firefighter or a doctor that cures people or tries to cure people with terminal diseases. I know my part. I'm no sage and savior. Some of you I begged, borrowed, stolen, all this, that, use your favorite metaphor, to ask you humbly, maybe overdoing it at times, to provide me some cash. Yeah, a small amount. Sometimes you've been very generous so that I can continue to give you, for the most part, useful information. And yes, my opinion, my commentary, which many of you disagree with. Some of you agreed. And I've tried to keep it straight talk. I know, I know that many of you will not agree. And by the way, I'm not doing this to be a contrarian like these assholes that are out there these days who'll say something totally ridiculous, stupid, because they want to draw attention and they absolutely have no definitive, no sincerity, no amount of genuineness beside them. If their life depended on it, they do it. You know why? So they can get clicks. That's the world in which we live in. Clicks. So they can get their money in clicks and be stupid and retarded. And I mean retarded in a respectful word, not the negative word. Those are the ones who are millionaires. Imagine that. Go figure. And me, stupid here, who has no axe to grind, by the way, no vendetta. There are a few people out there I can do less for, and they hate me and all that. Fine. Life is too short. I know what counts. I know the real things. I'm doing this in and of itself. I'm sort of contradicting myself because I'm acting kind of heated and exaggerated and all that, but there's no exaggeration here. I worked in a lot of these newsrooms. I saw what took place. Some of it very honorable. Some of it a lot of BS and crap designed to frustrate you guys. They stand there or talk there, holier than thou, as if they're curing cancer. And not just news people and so-called entertainment people or these sports guys who got fired from their job at used to be good radio stations that profess to be sports talk stations, who know act as if they've been on the Mount Rushmore of personalities. Truth is, they have no personality. They get by on frivolity and crap, and they're just hanging on. Sometimes I actually pity them because they don't know what the hell they're doing, but they got put forth and hired because they need bodies. So they think of themselves as some savior. They're lucky to have a job still. And the measly amount of income that they're getting paid, they ought to put in a treasure chest and consider themselves lucky. And that's the heart and soul of it for those guys. They got lucky. They're not so lucky these days. They're crapola artists. And they laugh and put me in the satire mode. They like to belittle me and lampoon me, all the while knowing that what I'm saying is 100% accurate. They can't stomach that. So they continue to talk frivolity and act as if they're God's gift to the world to make up these stupid slogans like they're the greatest talk show in the world, my ass. And so-called news people who they just got off the fucking bus from Fresno, who shouldn't be near a camera, a mic, who should have been trained, who should have had an ounce of guile and moxie, even a quarter amount before they got in front of a camera, who now they just take off the bus from Bakersfield or Fresno, pick a town, no disrespect to Bakersfield or Fresno, but they put them on camera and they don't even know what the hell they're talking about, let alone where the hell they're talking about. Yes, I'm angry. And yes, I get jealous, if you want to call it. I'm admitting it because I say, how the hell can they be in front of a camera making 25 cents an hour? And I'm screaming and yelling. I know. Isn't it nutty? Isn't it crazy? And then they have these people that come into my world and try to buffoon me and try to belittle me because I have the audacity to want to just be straight and tell you all, the vast consumers who should know and are knowing, give me 15 bucks for the year, no less, so that I could continue to convey to you what, again, they don't want you to know. They're wanting to get by on the cheap. And these ridiculous, these petty, pathetic companies like Disney. Boy, do I know, and boy, am I wise to Disney and the crapola that they festoon upon not just you guys, but other markets and NBC and KPIX and KTVU. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Look, it's not all bad. It's not all horrible. There is a little bit of a lift. It's not all the Titanic. I just mentioned there are people who really do try. Unfortunately, they're in the really, really big time minority. The majority, I shake my head. I used to think, my God, I'm speaking like my father. Get off my lawn. Yeah. And you're all laughing and this, that, and that. You know what? Long time ago, I forgot about that. At 10 years old, in 1972, I was watching the Watergate hearings. Can you imagine that? I was watching the news. I had a symbolic Woody, you're going to laugh, when I got to watch the news scene team with Van, Amber, and Jerry Jensen, and all those great people. They made me laugh. They entertained me. I was educated. I laughed, and this, that, and the other, and it was crazy Pete Giddings. But you know what? They were good. They entertained, they informed, they did it all. They didn't act like buffoons that we have today. The morons, the posers, I'll use that word. And folks, let me just say something. I'm not auditioning for anybody or anything. This is Rich talking in the third person. Yes, imagine that. I'm not here to get a job. I couldn't work in the environment today. I'm proud of that in a way. I'm sorry for you guys, people that are maybe a little bit younger or older who have to watch this crap or listen to this non existent crapola that we have today. We don't even have real radio in this market. The radio that we do have, you have to navigate the goddamn internet and make enough connections. It'll take forever, but worth it. I am just trying to break, not even, just a little bit of money left over so that I can buy fake coffee at 7-Eleven. And I'm reacting now because people belittle me and they hurt me. Yeah, they do a hell of a job. Sometimes, most of the time, I can take it. When I was sick in March and late February, I was coughing and sneezing. I looked like a pathetic piece of crap that most of you still think I am today. I was hurting, but you know what even hurt more? I couldn't do shows. It affected my ability to make some money, a little bit of money left over so I could buy a cheese sandwich at 7-Eleven. I don't cry for pity. I don't need sympathy, although it's nice every now and then. I'm just trying to convey to you. When you see me doing these little pledge breaks, I'm not KQED. I'm far more compelling. I'm far more entertaining, and it won't cost you $50 unless you want to throw $50 my way. I don't give out elaborate and beautiful coffee mugs. I don't do little sports shows and have these stupid little things in the background. I don't have nice little graphics. I have a roof over my head. And again, just trying to give you something different. I don't have notes either. I don't look at computers and geek up on fourth round draft picks that the 49ers got and going to scrub you to death with shit like that, which is about as interesting as a week old kumquat. If you want Larry Krueger, listen and be your heart's desire and all that. And Damon Bruce and assholes like Brian Murphy and anchors and stupid people who think they're God's gift to the world. Yeah, a lot of these people have built up walls and an enemies list. So be it. I'm not out to hurt anybody. I've never challenged anybody for their right to make a living. I perhaps have lampooned them, but all in good faith. Never gone after their family, their kids, nor would I. Even if I had kids and they went after my kids, I'd probably look the other way too, because I realize the environment that we're in today. There are petty people out there, real petty people, and they'll do anything to mess with other people, including people like myself who are just trying to get by. I don't celebrate, folks, the fact that this is what I've become. My only regret when I'm doing a good job, when I broke a certain story, or maybe I've entertained you and tried to be funny, God forbid, except my mom isn't around to see me do what sometimes I can be good at. Sometimes I can be really bad at, but that's another story. And I know I've lost a lot of you folks. You prefer the written thing and all that. And I've heard that, gotten several emails. And I know a lot of you just plainly can't stand me. Hey, there are times I can't stand myself. Yes, unlike Sally Field when she said famously, "You like me. You really like me." Well, now you pretty much don't like me. But I'm not here to make friends, as I've often stated. Some of you are going to find this sort of, oh God, he's at it again kind of a thing. And yeah, I scratch my eyes and my head because I've got ticks and I've got negatives. But, you know, I just want it known. As long as I do this, and God knows how long it's going to be, if I don't get any response from the requests for contributions, then doesn't matter what I think or you think. I'll be gone and you'll be happy, maybe, but you won't have the information that I want you to know about. Some of you already know. They truly don't care about their craft. They could give a damn's who cares about call letters. And when I bitch and moan about certain stations like KCBS, like KGO TV, like the old KGO radio and KPIX and the old KTVU when they had certain people, integral people with integrity and people that had depth and passion. That was a good time, really was. And they had reporters and anchors and people just did the basic things were special to look at, to watch, to observe, to listen, and yes, be entertained, all the while being informed. And we had great people like Bob Melrose and Peter Cleveland and Barbara Taylor at City Hall when reporting at City Hall meant something. And when we had dedicated people like, yeah, Pete Wilson and Gary Park and good people, and even the most mediocre people, they at least were credible. Those were the days, my friends. We thought they'd never end. You damn right. I will never, ever apologize for honoring these people. They're still alive. Some of them have passed, but they're still here. I'm not your savior. I'm not Reverend Ike, although I know at times. If you don't know who Reverend Ike is, Google that, look it up. Yeah, I begged and borrowed and stolen, all in the name of trying to give you something that you didn't have, perhaps beyond before the day began, that kind of a thing. So finally, I'm just saying this. I provide a service. It's not always great, but sometimes I hit a bone every now and then, a home run, maybe a single, maybe a double. Sometimes I strike out. I acknowledge it. I'm not pretending to be anything great whatsoever. Far, far from it. I don't look like George Clooney. My ears are entirely too big. Thanks God. I don't like hair. I'm the only man in the world who doesn't really like hair. I wanted to be like Ali Velshi. I thought I looked cool, like Anderson Cooper. So if you're going to buffoon me and belittle me about the hair, good luck. Make yourself happy. My face is entirely too round. I've been called certain names. And, you know, things happen. You get the word perspective means a lot. In the period of 15 years, I've lost my father, my mother, my aunt, my uncle, my brother. Just a couple of months ago, I lost my cousin. It sucks to lose a family. And the little family that I have left, we don't really talk much. We don't really talk at all. She's kind of departed from me too. No sympathy requested. Just understand, I ain't in the best environment. This keeps me going. I'm a selfish son of a bitch. I love doing this. It keeps me going. And hopefully, I give you something like I just said, something that maybe you didn't get before. And look, I'm not Mr. Artsy. I don't have the elaborate background, as I said. You can watch a million gazillion things on YouTube. Some of you have commented that you like me. I'd rather you disliked me and gave some. I appreciate that quite a bit. I don't want to be sanctimonious or righteous. Look, I do this stupid little thing that means a lot to me because I see a lot of people out there, they just don't give a damn. So my output, my little creativity is making sure Howard Stern in the back there is up front. If I had my druthers, I'd have a little bit better lighting and maybe a better backdrop and not just the monitor. But I can't do that. I need money to do that. I don't have the money. I barely have enough to keep this thing going and to try to give you, like I said, 15, 8, sometimes more than 15 minutes of infotainment, information, entertainment, a scoop, this, that, or the other. So I've gone a little long. I know that. I'm really, really sort of hard in terms of keeping it down to about 10, 15 minutes. But I had to come clean and talk to you. Not that I haven't been clean otherwise, but when I'm screaming, which is very rare, or if I'm opining or giving you a story like the previous story, you're not going to get it anywhere. They won't even credit me because they're petty. I keep saying that. They hate it. And wait till you see, knock on Formica. I think it's for, that's not Formica, it's metal. What do you see what I've got coming? But I work hard, not just throwing it out before checking facts. Look, it's all entertainment. Of course it is. Sometimes we have a little fun and all that. But by and large, I try to give you factual stuff and not the proverbial fake news. But I need your help, folks. Any amount. If you're making just merely a contribution and you don't want to be a paid subscriber, I've told you $15. That's a buck a month plus $3 so that Rich can buy a decent cup of coffee, God willing. I have expenses just like you do. I don't have the vast financial reservoir that perhaps most of you do. I realize, I acknowledge that times are tough for a lot of us. Look at the price of eggs still, gas, electricity, your rent, your mortgage. I profoundly thank you from the bottom of my heart, those of you who have given me countless times, maybe even once in a while, but you're there. And I appreciate that. Even those of you who belittle me, you still watch. In fact, you're the first in line. The people that complain the most and who like to mess with me, they're the first on here. The first to bitch and moan when I'm not there and when I'm in bed coughing and sneezing and feeling like crap, which I felt like for the better part of 2 months, which cost me a lot of money. So please help me. And even those of you who are giving me the middle finger and would never contribute a penny if their life depended on it, I thank you too, even though I wouldn't do what you do because it hurts. Yeah, it does. Happy to hear that. You're great at that. I genuinely like people, even the people that want to fuck with me and want me in the grave. But I don't mess with them like they mess with me. And for you folks that are kind of in the middle and sort of putting up with this right now, and I beg your indulgence, again, from the bottom of my heart, thanks a lot. I have always said to you, even when I'm requesting, asking for donations, I still give you little shows and information and broadcasts. I don't just go on and on and on. I'm not Channel 9 in that regard. I don't do 27 on average pledge breaks every day and offering you $50 coffee mugs, which are really about $2. So if you like this site, or even if you don't like it, or if you can't stand me, but you watch because you like to see a train wreck in your world, thanks. I'll take that as a compliment. To donate $15, become a paid subscriber, whatever you want to do, go to my PayPal. Just click on PayPal. It's 100% safe, secure. You don't have to have a PayPal account to contribute. It is my lifeblood. It is the means to which I bring you a show. Or, like today, if I don't have the funds, I don't bring you a show. But today, with a little bit of luck and a little bit of help, we can continue on and provide for you the information, entertainment, occasionally, yes, a scoop, or perhaps an opinion that, like I said, is anathema to their interests, they being the so called mainstream press, like the TV stations, like the few radio stations that we have left, like occasionally the pretenders who are really posers, who have the means to do a lot of this, that, and the other. But at the last second, they disappear because they are that posers. That much I can be negative on, state emphatically. Thank you. I hope you have a great Friday. I hope you're having a great weekend. We're about 2 weeks away from the 4th of July. So thanks for making this a part of your program. I'm Rich Lieberman.